sometimes it stays with me and I can make more sense of it when it's
absolutely. So to sum up, you are going to be aware of your developing witness self, which means that your ego is going to not like it. So you're going to have this internal conflict, and if you can just keep moving back into your stillness, into your center, and not entertaining the fear, but not pushing it away and ignoring it. It's like having a friend there that is not coping at the party.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't just put them in a room and pretend they don't exist, because that would just, they'd go batshit. So what you do is, but you don't want to leave the party. You don't want to give them control, but just because they're having a bad time doesn't mean you can't carry on doing your thing. But what you do is you acknowledge that they're having a hard time, but you explain that that's their thing, and actually we need to be over here anyway. So, or a bit like a child that doesn't want to, go to the whatever, but that it's good for them. It's that kind of energy. You come with compassion and understanding to yourself. And mercy is a really good word, actually. I found that really transformative for me, because I was very hard on myself, and I realized that actually what I needed was mercy rather than just compassion. I struggle with compassion. But so if you're struggling with compassion, then bring in mercy, because it's a fabulous energy. So you're approaching yourself with all this compassion and mercy, but you're not letting your ego get away with it. You're not letting it, but you're saying, yeah, there. It's fine. Shh. We're just going over here. Do you see what I'm saying? You're managing your internal landscape without fear. Right. That's enough of that. Let's do some work. You get it, and we know where we're at. So let's see what we do within this, because this is all solar plexus. So, okay.
Yeah.
So when I go into you, Faye, I feel a tremendous amount of peace, babe. You're doing this. You're doing great.
I'm trying.
Stillness inside you, which is really working. It's tentative, but it's really there. So, you're doing fantastic. Okay, so they're showing me something quite specific here. There's a past life that they want me to, your inner system wants me to see. It's very specific. There's no jumbling, but it's quite far down in the pit. So I haven't got masses of energy coming forward, and it's attached to your throat here, and it comes around your throat and then down through your spine. So let's go into this. So how they're showing me within the energy is that it feels like it's not you. So there is a sense of you not owning this. It's like you've decided, even though it's happening within your system, you've gone, it's not me. So you're not taking responsibility for something. Because whatever this is really powerfully stinky. And as I go into it, it's like if I brought it into your body, it would probably be quite disastrous. So I can see why. It's hanging off the back of your neck. It's like it's being contained in some way. It's very, very, very dark. Very dark. Okay. It came from around the biblical time. I'm not sure. I think I want to go beyond Jesus. I want to move back into the Bible story, even maybe beyond Moses. It's really old, this. It's very, very, very old. And when I feel into it, it's so fascinating, because it's like I can feel the energies of the time. like it was very different frequencies that the planet embodied. I'd never felt this much clarity before. So this is you that's giving me this clarity, which is lovely. But to feel the frequency of the time is, I've never done that before, which is amazing. And I can really feel the presence of the corruption. I can feel it's kind of coming. It's like it's already on the planet, but it hasn't kind of got in everywhere yet. And but it's definitely, it's present, but mostly it's looking for power. So it's mostly going to the people that have the power. And in those days, of course, there was such a stark difference between those who had the power and those who didn't. These days, we've all actually embodied power. We've all got our free will and choice. We've all got, we're allowed to speak our minds. And even if we hold ourselves back, we have free will and choice. Actually, we have laws that each person has more power than they did. In those days, it really felt, if I'm looking from the eyes of whatever this being is that's attached to you, it's very much scanning, looking out for that power. And feeling that there's power, and then going, oh no, there's no point with that. They have nothing. Okay, so it's looking for that. It was a time where people didn't understand. They were very naive. It was a very early days of this kind of energy of power. And they didn't know what was good or bad. They couldn't tell. Hence why I suppose religion kind of came in at all, really, was to try and create some order in some of this sort of chaotic, darker energy that's coming in. So people let things in when they shouldn't have. They thought things were helping them. So there were these kind of voices of God were coming, but some of these voices weren't God. So this is sort of where the emerging of the understanding of God comes in. So therefore the power starts, oh, I'll jump onto that. And it kind of started to corrupt right from the beginning, corrupt into it. Does this make some sense? Are you feeling any of this?
Yeah, I feel it here. It's tainted it. It becomes tainted, doesn't it? Because it's whatever it is coming in and it's being changed to fit needs.
Exactly. So what you've got is this bit part of your system that's trying to fight this illusion, that's trying to feed you information about the divine, and you are rejecting it. Now you've had lifetimes when this thing you allowed this thing in, and it corrupted you, and this time you're like going, no, I'm just not having it this time. I'm not going to be fooled by this. You know, I am going to find my divine connection in this lifetime, and it's going to be strong and it's going to be permanent.
I have to. Yeah, I've got a real aversion to power and abuse of power this lifetime. And I know that's because I was awful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Many times. I was horrendous.
Absolutely. So this is why we're going to get rid of this today. It's going to really help. You're already halfway there. You've done the work for me. All I need now is to finish off the job, and for you to understand what you didn't even know what you've been doing, but you've been doing it just through your divine essence. So now we remove the whole program from you, and that thing can never interfere with you again. So I don't know where I'm going to go with this. Probably speaking another language. I don't know if we've done that before, but yeah, we'll see what comes up. But I don't feel any fear from you, which is lovely. You're very grounded with your expectation in this lifetime. You know that you're going to have to face some really hideous stuff, and there's an acceptance of that in you, and I love that. It really shows that this is not your first life sorting this shit out. No. You've done many lives to get to this point, especially with the gifts you hold and the awareness you hold. So, you know, there's a lot of thumbs up going on here, but there is a lot of stinky stuff to get through because you've got the strength to do it. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, can I have enforcers online, please? Hello. They're fascinated. Oh my goodness me, they're absolutely loving this. So whatever this is, they are literally looking at it like it's some ancient thing that they just want to study.
Glad to be of service to them. Get the popcorn out.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, they've taken the attachment, they've just literally hooked it off the back of your neck in absolute fascination to go and have a look and see what's going on. So let's just clean you up now. I know that you're feeling it in your solar plexus, but the attachment is over your head. It's in your literally in your face. And I can feel it all up your nose,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's always isn't it just there exactly, which is really weird. It's like it's a mask.
Mm.
It's like it's their mask put over your face so they can see through you. So they're just going to take this whole big sort of mask thing off. There feels like there's a very thick book of written about the damage that this thing has caused you through your lifetimes. Because partly I can see this very melted face. It's like you burnt at some point. Your whole face got burnt. So whether you were burnt at the stake, and that's what you're experiencing. But there feels like there's masses of lifetime after lifetime, which that we need to clear out of you. This thing has created in its karmic energy. So strap in, relax, trust. Well, that's so interesting. So now I've gone into your soul. They've taken me right into your soul. So if I'm imagining your soul in sort of human physical form, and it's an absolute mess in there. It's hilarious. It's like a teenage bedroom,
Oh, God.
but it's supposed to be. You've spent so long trying to keep everything in order, and that's where everything managed to keep you corrupted because you were too frightened to open up the Pandora's box. But in this lifetime, you've decided that you don't want order in your soul. It's not going to work. You need mess. You need because it's unraveling. As soon as you put order in, you'll miss stuff. So now I've got a part of you literally running around this landscape, going this. Where was that? It was under there, wasn't it? Okay, this. So it's like you're working the chaos.
Mm.
And that's important for you to remember. You're not going to create wholeness, wellness for yourself out of order. It's only going to come from chaos into order, into chaos, into order. So at the moment you've got chaos, and now we're bringing it into order. But we only need to bring this particular bit into order because that's the bit that we're working on. Don't be tempted to let your ego get caught out in, oh my God, everything's a mess, I've got to tidy it. It might be that if you have an inclination from your soul that something needs tidying, that's a different feeling. So you need to get to know what those feelings are as well. So that's also part of your development, to understand your own inner landscape of what's trying to create in that moment. Is my ego trying to create? Is my soul trying to create? Is my spirit trying to create? What is trying to be? Is the universe just trying to create through me? What is this creative energy? So I mean, down the line, I'm not expecting you to know it by the end of next week or anything. This is just, they're giving you a lot because you can handle this. They're planting all these seeds. We'll talk about all this stuff again and again, but every time just putting it in there, waking you up a little bit more. Okay, she's got it all.
It just told me entropy.
Entropy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I just got told entropy. I don't know
I don't know
why.
what that means.
I don't know.
No.
Want to look at that?
Entropy. Let's look that up because you've gathered all your stuff now, so we're ready to do the next bit of the journey. But let's look up entropy. Entropy.
Entropy. Yeah.
So, a thermodynamic quality representing the unavailability of a system's thermal energy for conversion into mechanical works,
What?
often portrayed as the degree of disorder or randomness in the system.
Oh, well, there you go. Randomness. We'll take the randomness in the system.
Okay, that's lovely.
All right, thanks, guys.
Somewhere on the line, they're giving you some sort of academic understanding, aren't they?
It's like trying to organise things.
Okay, that's fantastic. Well done. Okay. Okay, they brought it all up to the back of your head. And now we're handing it all over. But you've got to know that you deserve this. So this is self-forgiveness from you now, Faye. You need to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. You need to really know that whatever this has gone on, that you completely forgive yourself. It doesn't matter that you know or don't know what it is. Forgiveness can be in absolute entirety, just in its essence. So just sit embodying that, the gratitude and the forgiveness, and then the gratitude. You forgive yourself, and then you're grateful for you, for who you are, and grateful for the journey and the lessons. So it's full acceptance of what has been, but it's past. So because it has acceptance, we can release it. Okay, you're doing really well, but there's some ancestral interference coming in now. Something around your right side of your body is not letting you release completely. Have you got, on your father's side of the family, or maybe your mother's in the masculine, have you got some very religious old ancestors or old relatives?
There'll be Roman Catholic on my dad's side.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. This really strong religious. You cannot be forgiven.
Yeah.
That's the energies coming through. They just cannot accept that you can just forgive yourself. This heinous, crimes that you've done against the, God or the religion or the Pope. So with this all has to go now. So this is the next bit. So you say to them, thank you so much for your strong opinions. I don't hold those opinions. Off you go. So completely take down that Catholic structure, please. Place within her. Were you christened?
Yeah.
You
I
need to,
did have communion.
okay. And do you buy into it? Do you want to keep it?
No.
No. Okay. So that's so you need to tell yourself that you release that. So in your little internal prayers now, allow yourself to channel some words to thanking again. But I am no longer belong to this club. This is no longer who I am. It was given to me without my free will and choice or full understanding. So therefore, it's not a contract that I have to honour because you're a child. Mm-hmm. So and you just gently hand it all back and let them go. So let your imagination then come in. You might be handing all sorts of the cup back or whatever. So let's do this together. So bringing those awareness of those ancestors into your awareness. We do it with so much love because they did think they were doing okay. They thought they were taking care of you. Oh God, this is really fascinating. Okay, so as that's gone, and you've kind of released that, there's another religion in there. It's like I can feel something else energy, that you've got all this religious stuff, haven't you? So the next thing is kind of so this is your religious identifications, and you're trying to disidentify with everything. It's like you really have to let go of all of this hidden stuff, because you need to let go of your identities in order to really emerge in your truth. And so even though some of this stuff might seem okay, it's still an identity. And so you're removing all the positive and negative identities. You've really decided that you don't want any of them, because you have to find who you are. So this particular identity now is much more within the story of the Buddha. I'm very much in India now, and learning the methods and the structures that were going on in that day. And it's like you've chosen to go and have an experience in all these religions. Like you chose to have these lifetimes where you were around, but not later on down the line, but in the development of them. So, who knows what wonderful stories are going to come out of you. So interesting. And it's something about putting it's about codependence. It's about you putting too much importance on these teachers. Too much importance on their and not being able to find your own way within it. Wanting the model all the time, wanting the structure, wanting to, well, let me follow that. Can I follow you in that? Can I follow you in that?
That's why I'm so skeptical of it now.
Yes.
I can't stand it.
You did too much following, too much blind following, and not enough of your own autonomy. You allowed other people to influence you, but it's okay, because that was part of the journey. You needed to go through that. You needed to experience that. Somewhere along the line, I would imagine that you've been both. We're just looking at the one when you were just you were the little disciple that was soaking it in and trusting everything. There would have been another time, of course, when you would have been, which would have time before, it felt like you were leading. So you've played both sides. So a little bit of the reason why they're going through this today is because a little bit of you got left behind. So we're going to soul retrievals, because it just feels like it's still playing out. It's like it feels live in you, like this whole kind of scene or this experience is still Groundhog Daying inside you, because a bit of your spirit or your soul got left. You gave it to this guru.
Oh no, Faye.
That's okay. We're going to get it back now.
Good. Yes, please.
Stop. That's not right. Stop now. Let's go back into presence. Go deeper. She's just running around the surface, trying to do what she thinks right. Whatever that part of her is that keeps running around, trying to manage everything. I want that isolated, please. Yes, that bit. That's the bit from the solar plexus. Stop it. Contain it. We're just going to bring it back into the solar plexus and just keep it contained in there while I do the rest of it. Okay, then I can't. Okay, fair enough. So we need to deal with this first then. It's absolutely getting in the way. Okay, so there's this little part of you now that I could feel. It's like a very speedy little. It reminds me of Brian from the Magic Roundabout. You probably don't remember that, but it's yes, I can do that. I can do that. Yes, we're gonna do that. I do that. I do that. Yes, just. So it's like it's very capable. It's very competent, and it does everything at 100 miles an hour. But what it does is just skims over the top. It doesn't give. There's no depth, so you don't listen to the instructions. The first little bit of the instruction and you're off. I can do this, I've got this. And actually you should have, if you'd stuck around for another half a minute, you would have got more instructions and you probably then wouldn't have wasted all that time and effort.
It's me in life.
That's you in life. Okay, so there we go. We've found it. We've isolated this little program, this part of your personality, the ego construct that's trying to be everything for everybody, including yourself, and wanting to. It's a very. You see, it feels very useful, but it's not helping. Okay, so we need to get rid of this part of you. So you need to come into your solar plexus with me, and you need to see this part of you with so much love. She's wonderful. She's so sweet. She's trying so hard to be everything for everyone. She's really coming from a good place here. It's not a program that is helping you anymore. I think at some point she was really on her game and was really useful, but it's like now there's no place for this sort of shallowness. You need more depth. So we love her and we say thank you. And we're going to have a look inside to see, is she part of your inner child? How old is she? How old is this part? Ask her. How old is she?
8.
She's 8. So this is where she learned to be this really busy. So she feels like she's a bit tired, but she also feels like she needs to feel useful because she doesn't feel like she has any place. She's carving herself out a place because nobody's given her a place. So it's like she needs a place at the table to feel like she's important. I really had to bring her back in, because she didn't feel like she was part of this. So can we put her into your heart garden, and can you put her at the table? Can we create a wonderful Mad Hatter's table in there? And give her wonderful, so she needs to feel that she's part of everything. Okay, so if you could do that. So we hold the space open for the heart garden. We know that it's there. We recognize that. That's where we're going. And we're creating that beautiful table where she's going to be welcomed to be part of it. She needs to feel she's part of it. So she doesn't have to be all of it. And then when you're ready, go to this 8-year-old in your solar plexus, running around, being everything. And we ask her to start to come with us up the staircase towards the heart. There's somewhere that she can go where she's useful, where she can be part of the team, where she can be relevant, but without having to do it all herself. So let her really feel her way into this heart and feel her place at this table. How's that feeling, Kay?
Nice.
Yeah, great. Okay, let's go back into the solar plexus then and see what I can do here. Wherever I was. Where was I? I've lost my way now. Now we've done that. We need to do that first. Let's see where we were. Has that just cleared everything we needed to clear by doing that? I see. That's why I can't see anything more. So is this complete? Yes. Okay. So I've got the guru is now detaching. So the Buddha, Siddhartha, has himself, he's withdrawing now from your system. Computer speaking sounds like a didgeridoo, which is hilarious. Something you're not quite letting go of there. Something that's still a little bit attached. An ancestor again. Okay, so there is an ancestor also within you who has been trying to count to counteract the religious ones. So you've got another one in here who's anti-religion.
This makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Have you got part of your family that are very anti and then parts that are, or
Um, my mum was quite. She was just like, it's a load of bollocks. Make up your own mind. Because my dad was Catholic, my mum was Protestant. But only technically, she was always a bit like skeptical of it.
okay, yes. Okay, that's great. So there is that kind of resistance in the ancestry to the other side. So we're just going to release that. Feels like a male influence again, but it does feel like it's coming more from your mum's side this time. It's like a counter. Um,
Yeah, that'll definitely be her side.
oh, that's very loud. She's safe now, so you need to release from her because she doesn't need. She's not going to be running those programs. We're dealing with the religion programs today. Okay, that's great. You get that. So we need to let this one go. Yeah, we've got it. You're trying to control it, aren't you? So we'll let you play. So let that go now. Yeah, can we do that? There we go. Brilliant. Well done. Coming off your back left right shoulder. So then what this ancestor's showing me is the cross on your back. That you're carrying this kind of martyr cross that comes from wherever, and that's what he wants you to get rid of, because he said that by the time she's an old lady, she'll be so worn down by this, because it's a strong, heavy wooden cross. So that's what he's saying, and then he said he'll go.
Okay.
So this cross is confused in you because it's wrapped up in your Mother Mary compassion. So you're not seeing it as suffering so much as the need to have compassion for suffering. So it's like you're carrying it as a totem, as a symbol, of compassion for suffering. So it's a bit more Mary than it is Jesus for you. In that way, you get that you don't feel as connected to the Jesus as you do Mary, and you sort of get that. It's like the role of the supporter, the supporting role, rather than the main event, if you like. So you feel the need to carry other people's pain for them because you feel the burden of that within them. And that's what this represents. She's carrying his pain, and that's what you're being asked to put down now.
Oh yes, please.
It's challenging in your solar plexus because there's a part of you that based your sense of worth on this. It's like, I'm a good person because I do this. So if I let go of this, that means I'm letting go of some of my I'm a good person energy. and that frightens you because of the darkness you've got inside you. But you have to trust today that it's all getting in the way now. It's not about good and bad or right and wrong. It's about attachment. Oh, so also this part of you is saying, well, maybe, but will Mother Mary not like me
Oh dear.
if I do this? So,
Okay.
you know, there's that sort of a little bit of that naive insecurity that you have to do this to be, again, it's worthiness. It's a false worthiness. And I'm reassuring you that Mother Mary will love you for whatever you do. So let's bring her in. Let's bring her in. And she comes with so much love and compassion. There's no judgment. She's saying, thank you so much. You've carried this for such a long time. There's no, oh, you silly person, you shouldn't be doing this or anything like that. It's very much she's so lovely. Actually, I need to embody more of her really because I'm a bit tough. She's really understanding and saying thank you and appreciating all that you've done. And she is the one that's going to hook this off your back now. She's going to reclaim it. She's saying, you don't need to carry this for me or anyone. And he's saying, you certainly don't need to carry it for my silly son, my silly, foolish son who got himself into so much trouble.
Dear. Mothers and their sons.
Yes. What I'm trying to say, what she's trying to say, she's saying, what I'm trying to say is you don't have to carry these burdens anymore. This is not your place to carry these burdens. It wasn't his place to carry the fucking burdens in the first place, to be honest. So why on earth did anyone else? That was me. That wasn't her. Yeah, that here it comes. And all the way, the heaviness is the back of the head and the back of the neck. It's really heavy here. It's just pulling out this all that heavy energy that was caught up in that martyr energy. And then into the back of the heart. You're showing her now. You're showing her this book. You said, I've been carrying this book. And it feels like somebody's diary. It's you in a past life associated with the Christ story. Yeah. So it's like you're carrying this memory in a form of a diary and sort of written information. And it was around the time of that Jesus time. So it feels like you know stuff that you're frightened to allow in, that perhaps you know some truths that weren't written and that kind of stuff. And I think this is the sort of thing that's going to come to you once you start to really work your presence and open up to your communication. You're going to start to understand more about perhaps the roles you did play in some of these lifetimes.
Yeah.
And understanding a little bit more about yourself because of it. Because because when we touch on these frequencies, we feel them in myself and go, oh my God, that makes sense. I always wondered where that bit came from, why I'm feeling that, or why I keep playing that out, or why my mind keeps forming this particular landscape. So you're going to discover, and they want you to do it very much in a very matter of fact kind of way.
Yes, good. That works for me.
Want you to get caught in the hype of the story. You know, they want you to see it all as very, very normal. This is just what happened. This is just because at the time it would have felt normal. It's only time that has glorified, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. And made these into the stories have been created into these heroes or anti-heroes or whatever they've decided. But you're not going to buy into that. You're going to understand this from your own grounded perspective of what it is. So this book We're getting it out of you because it feels like you're hiding it. We're going to surrender it so then you can read it. You can't read it from in here. It's too painful. It really hurt. I'm literally, my heart is aching, hurting because you're carrying this. But what I want to do is hand it to your guidance so then you can sit in the record keepers and then you can go and you can look through it without fear. Yeah? Okay. That's what's happening. You're really frightened. You're really scared of the information in this book because it feels like it would change everything.
It's going to change everything. It will,
Everything.
because even when I was little, when I was like 8, again 9, I was obsessed with like finding out like the Dead Sea Scrolls because I knew that what we had wasn't real.
Yeah.
So I've done there's something, and that's in this life.
This is making real sense to you now. You even felt this as a child
I've
then.
known this forever.
Absolutely in you. So now, with the good news is, now we've found it. You can start to take the journey to open it and be able to then feel comfortable to express it. At the moment, you're very frightened.
Well,
to even look at it or even send it into the collective conscious, because it's going to challenge everybody's perception, and part of your kindness doesn't want people to have to go through that.
it's everything. It's the whole belief systems. It's everything.
It is, and they need changing, and they need, because it's not going to be just you, Faye. There's going to be different beings in this world that are going to be bringing this stuff to the table collectively, individually. So you don't have to fear that it's not all about you, and that's this feeling you've got. It's just me. It's that Messiah thing, isn't it? That Messiah complex. You know, I've got it's all. I'm the only one that's gonna. And then I'm going to end up, you know, coming a cropper like he did, and all the other ones. You know, you've got memories, very real memories of how people stood up for their beliefs, and it all went a bit, you know, nasty. So why would you do that? But it is your life. This is your role this lifetime. So, and you're in a time where you've got more of an opportunity, but what you're doing is you're shedding the fears at the moment. It's all we're there, but you have to shed the fear to be able to bring it through. So that's what we're working towards. But I love the fact that you know this already.
I know it all.
You don't have to do anything with it. This is why it's so important that you work this witness again. We're going sort of full circle again here, because you have to be detached. You have to be completely neutral. You can't be going in with agendas. And this is why you have to let go of all this old past life attachment that's got an agenda in it. Because you know that the truth is there, but you know that you've got to be in the right state to be able to find that truth, because all you'll do is you'll just project onto it otherwise, so from some of this old stuff. So that's where you're at right now. On one hand, there's lots going on, but that's one of the things that is going on through your system, is letting go so you can action this book that's now been released. So obviously you've gone far enough for me to see it, to release it, so you know you can see how it's going to unfold. So a contract. So you're contracted to hold this information. It's not by accident. It's in the system. It's just a matter of learning how to take the next steps to get it into the system in the right way. And that's that's why it's so important for you that everything goes slowly and with each step, and why we had to get rid of that bit that runs around at 100 miles an hour trying to do it all in the surface, because she wouldn't be useful. She'd just get in your way. So now you can really feel your way. You have the opportunity now, as this all works its way through, to really feel your way, to know each step and pause what needs to come, if anything, right now, and then take that step if it's needed, or you don't do anything if you don't. Hence the witness, hence the intuition, at needing to take your cue from the divine intelligence, not from your old fearful self. We're surrendering the contract. Yeah. Contract was to carry it, was surrendering that. Ooh. So now what's appeared is a council of beings, and which was lovely because immediately there was a relief of not feeling on your own anymore. You've really felt on your own with this. It's like you've had to carry it secretly, and it was a really big job that you undertook in some ways. But now, as we've released them straight away, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for some reason, 6 beings hold the energy for this wisdom, and now you can be a part of them rather than thinking, because that was the fear. You felt the too much responsibility, and not and now it feels like you can let this go now, and now you can be a part of it rather than having to be the whole thing. So now you don't have to decide when this information comes through. You are now you're just going to be the instrument. So now it's about trusting rather than trying to control or feel like you're fully responsible. You're just responsible for your part now rather than the whole thing, which should feel a bit more restful.
Yes.
So just clearing a little bit, going in with a little bit of light into your lungs. Yeah, just let light in. That's it. Just got to heal and reconfigure some of this energy. You're still relying on that masculine energy, but the feminine is emerging. But there's a majority of reliance, but it's changing. So you're definitely in process with that. I'm not worried about that. It's just going to take some time. And actually, as soon as I mentioned it, you've rebalanced. So so you knew that straight away. As soon as I said that, oh yes, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
So she's lagging behind, but there she is. Oh, she's here. I'm here. So there we go. You had your balance. So that was literally seconds it took you just with the awareness to rebalance. So do be checking in. Do be working with yourself on as many fields of awareness as you can. So work in the very low human energy, fulfilling the human needs. Know that's where you are, and that's fine. But then make sure that you spend some time sitting in your heart field, so you can let your heart kind of sort itself out a bit. You're massively in this, so you've got to expect that things are happening every moment. And so you need to take the rest when you need to take the rest, because there's so much going on without your little human mind having a clue.
Yeah.
And so it's important that you learn how to manage all of these different parts of you separate from the human. So know that there's my human self, there's my heart self, there's my higher self, whatever selves, there's my inner child. Just at the moment, it's like, I see it like, it's like we start off as this massive big rope. And then what we then have to do, and we think we're this one person, because that's the ego says, I'm just this. And then each part of that rope is an individual thread, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So what you're doing is you're undoing your rope, and you're seeing all this mass of personalities and different threads that are making up who you are. None of them, of course, are your authentic self, but they may have a little frequencies of self in them, but most of the time they are just a learned behavior. And but we need to see them. You need to know they're there. So this unraveling can be quite uncomfortable, a bit disconcerting. Also makes everyone feel a bit schizophrenic. It's like, good God, how many personalities have I got? But because we rely on these archetypes and we think they are who we are, we have to. Well, I personally like to go from negative to positive. So I'm not very good at removing things initially. I need to transmute them. I'm the alchemist. So I need to go, here's a negative archetype. Let's become a positive archetype. From the positive archetype, then I can choose whether I want to keep it or not.
Okay. Yeah. Is that like the human design thing as well? I'm the alchemist generator.
Or whatever. Yes, I mean, there's some. I'm not clever,
Yeah.
but for me, I like the simple way. So it's just a recognizing that your archetypes are learned behavioral aspects of who you are. We identify with them, so therefore we believe we are. That's who we are. Once we can non-identify with them, then we can start to realize that we are the power behind it, rather than the actual thing. But it takes time. It takes a long time. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. You know, and I've got to the point now where I now can pretty much identify programs in me, and I can cherry pick and I can remove them now. But I have to actively do that. So recently I've done my con man, my miser, my Midas, I've done my Avenger. So these are little archetypes that come through that are running the show that for a long time you think you need, and then you come to realize that they're just getting in the way and you need to remove them. But you say it takes time. Don't think you have to do it all at once. Is there anything you want to ask me?
I don't know. There's always things that come through to me afterwards. I'm not right in the moment.
Okay. So, if there's stuff before a session, do try and write stuff down, because I'm welcome to answer questions. I'm just going to finish with an archetype because I just want to really get this hammered home. So I'm going to have a positive and a negative. So your positive archetype that you're embodying at the moment that's working well for you is your seeker.
Okay. Good.
Well, thanks for wisdom and truth wherever they are.
Yeah. Okay.
But remember, she's still an ego construct.
Yeah.
She's positive. She's still an identity, but she's positive. Where you're struggling, actually, is in your mentor. So there's something about, are you being asked to be a mentor? Do you shy away from being a mentor? Do you not trust mentors? Where are we sitting with this?
With mentors, I always thought it was a bit egotistical. Like when I've had to do it in business and things, someone's like, oh, do you want me to be your mentor? And I think not really, because...
Yes, and it comes back down to the guru stuff, doesn't it?
Oh, that'll be that, yes.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I should be giving anyone advice.
No, and you don't feel that they should be giving you advice either. So there's a whole kind of disruption in. So you're carrying this mentor archetype because you've got an issue with it.
It takes time for me to trust people.
Yeah.
And when I trust people, then I'll work with them. But I don't trust too many people. I mean, it's not that I don't trust them. I just don't think it. You know how it is. You have to.
Oh God, I do it.
Someone.
Let's just quickly look then. So what? Cruelty. The devil card in this is cruelty. So you need to look at perhaps sitting with and embodying your mentor archetype. You have to admit that it's in there, even if you're rejecting it, even if it's an anti, it's there. And ask your system, your higher self, your guidance, where am I holding cruelty within my mentor? It's very possible that perhaps in a past life you've either been treated very cruelly by a mentor, was meant to be your mentor, and they haven't really done it well, or the way around, or both. You've been someone's mentor and you have imparting false information. So the shadow for the mentor is inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master. So maybe in your past life you've sat on your high horse going, no one can get to me, I have to say. A lot of teachers are like that. It's very common. Teachers don't want their students to outstrip them. Okay, there we go. I'm leaving you with that little thought. Lot to think about, and you know where I am if you need me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye.